Assalamualaikum and good morning to Madam Azina and our fellow friends. Today our group want to present the seminar wise the topic of the Enterprise Resources Planning or ERP. Before that, I will introduce our group member. First, my name is Tahawin Salman. Second, Nur Imanina binti Azmi. Third, Nur Farhana binti Bazi. Nur Nadira binti Kayu Imran. And last one, Diana Syahya binti Abdul Ghani. I will explain to you about the definition of ERP. The definition of ERP is a set of the integrated business application or modules that perform the common business operation including the general ledgers, accounting, and the other administrations.
Good morning, my name is Zena Sharikali Asuri binti Abdul Ghani and I am the second presenter. I'll explain more about the evolution of ERP. The history of ERP goes back more than 50 years. It all started back in 1960s when the birth of cloud computing took place. With the rise in factory production demand, the need for the management of products also increased. This was also a need to keep the right balance along with maintaining the customer demands. So, in order to plan and manage the complete manufacturing process to production and delivery, materials requirement planning (MRP) software was made. The whole process of only having to stock up the required inventory has enabled the companies invest and utilize their resources better. And back in the 1970s, almost all firms were using MRP software to operate their manufacturing process, but the operation cost of it was only affordable for the large businesses. Now, the ERP system marked again with another big milestone in the 80s. This is when the MRP2 software came into the picture. It was a more advanced and sophisticated solution than the last one. It supported the whole manufacturing process way beyond the inventory and procurement of raw materials. The latest MRP2 software has more advanced production scheduling abilities, and it will be able to coordinate better with the various departments of the business. And all this was involved with the manufacturing of products. Then, in the 1990s, a more advanced and extended version of MRP and MRP2 came. The technology analysts had a name for this new category of business management software, ERP. This was a term, Enterprise Resource Planning. The system and functionalities of ERP include CRM, HRM, project management, accounting, and engineering. Toward the beginning of the 2000s, the ERP software seems to have evolved a lot in its software development department. The whole solution has been deployed over the internet back then. Moreover, the ERP software even then was able to integrate with a number of different software. Those were mostly to be used for the companies from one single platform. And in today's time, the ERP system has evolved even more. The solution of ERP now have gone mostly cloud-based. Moreover, companies are utilizing the ERP system with the software as a solution, SaaS model as well. The usage of mobile applications has gone up. As a result, most ERP solutions are made mobile-friendly. Additionally, one can use it from remote location along with its web access.
I will continue a presentation with the discussion of key features of Enterprise Resource Planning (ERP). First, enterprise-wide integration. Enterprise-wide integration is where business processes are integrated end-to-end across departments and business units. For example, a new order automatically initiates a credit check, queries product availability, and updates the distribution schedule. Once the order is shipped, the invoice is sent. Next is real-time operations. Real-time operation is an operating system intended to serve real-time applications that processes data and events that have critically defined time constraints for the system under control to perform as required. Since the processes in the example of enterprise-wide integration occur within a few seconds of order receipts, problems are identified quickly, give the seller more time to correct the situation. Next is a common database. Common database enables data to be defined once for the enterprise with every department using the same definition. Some ERP systems split the physical database to improve performance. Next is consistent look and feel. Consistent look and feel is when early ERP vendors realized that software with a consistent user interface reduces training costs and appears more professional. When other software is acquired by an ERP vendors, common look and feel sometimes abandoned in favor of speed to market. As new releases enter the market, most ERP vendors restore the consistent user interface. Next is the components or elements of ERP. There are 6 common components and 5 secondary components. The first one is human resource. Human resource important feature is payroll software, which automates payment including tax and benefits deduction. With an integrated timekeeping feature, payments to the hourly workers can also be automated, so no longer have to manually input their timesheets. Payments also can be made automatically to employee banks accounts, and compensation forms can be managed with little human input. Second is customer relationship management. The customer relationship management module of the ERP system collects essential customer data. One of the main uses is tracking customer buying habits. With this data available, we are able to see which products we may put to upsell and the best time to do it. In addition, we can track conversation history with which we know who, what, and when sales personnel have talked to customer. Third is business intelligence. The business intelligence of ERP collects data and performs analysis that can provide actionable insights about business processes. As businesses start to rely more heavily on decisions backed by data, business intelligence becomes indispensable. The actionable insights can inform business decisions across departments and processes when using an integrated solution. Companies that have yet to implement an ERP system, the data are silenced by the department. Therefore, it is easier to see a complete view of data and how various aspects of business affect factors such as profitability and customer retention when using ERP software. Fourth is financial management. The ERP system financial management module takes note of business critical transactions such as account payable, account receivable, fixed and variable costs, and budgets. It also analyzes the trends in spending that help businesses to reduce costs, increase profits, and explore untapped opportunities. When coupled with the power of data, it conducts a financial forecast and helps determine future trajectory. This module not only integrates the financial transactions happening across departments, but also frees up the time of your workforce by automating trivial tasks. The fifth common component of ERP is inventory management. Inventory management takes care of sales and warehousing as well. It automates inventory management by reducing manual inventory control and by introducing other inventory tracking features such as revision level tracking, multi-level serial number tracking, and SKU, stock keeping unit. It also automatically updates out-of-stock materials on business websites so that customers don't place orders for products that they don't have in the warehouse. Last component is supply chain management. Supply chain management starts from procuring raw materials from vendors. It entails comparing vendors against various parameters. Each search is based on the set parameters and continually updates the list of vendors. The long list of secondary vendors helps when the primary vendor is demanding more than the market price. It requires real-time data and fix issues as and when they happen. It also makes use of predictive analytics to prepare up-to-the-minute production plans and help with demand planning. Next, we move to secondary components of ERP. The first one is risk management. Risk management can predict and reduce risk in your business. It may also suggest business continuity plans (BCP) for emergencies and unplanned situations. Second is marketing resource management (MRM). MRM supports operations such as the alignment of people, processes, and technology to support and enhance marketing efforts. Third is sales order management. Sales order management can assist companies in managing sales orders through their entire life cycle, from sales order generation to billing or invoicing. Fourth is the Advanced Planning System, APS. APS uses data to track the cost of production for manufactured goods. It might also optimize the allocation of raw materials and capacity to balance consumer demand with the amount of warehouse space available. Last but not least, event management. Event management allows the end user to run events and hospitality programs from start to finish.
Assalamualaikum and hi. I am Nur Imanina binti Azmi and I will proceed the presentation with the issues to consider before implementation of Enterprise Resource Planning, ERP. 5 top things to consider before implementing ERP. First, understand business specific needs. The first challenge is actually selecting the right software that is suited to business specific needs. When it comes to choosing an ERP solution, is not a one size fits all approach. Every business or organization is unique. Therefore, the software needs to be able to fulfill their individual or specific requirements. One way to overcome this challenge is to establish, define, understand the company's unique business processes. Once those business processes are determined and understood, then can start looking for ERP solution that meet business specific requirements. Next, consider the technical issue. The next step is to match any and all technical needs to the new ERP software and also determine the appropriate delivery model to connect the two together. It refers to whether the solution will be on-premise, cloud-based, or hybrid. Develop a project strategy that covers every phase of the implementation process to combat this. To validate the network, the project plan establishes a time frame for everything from hardware requirement to resource controls, data conversion, and data entry. Setting up a project plan is smart because it serves as an implementation roadmap, laying out the processes for moving forward with the ERP system design phase. The third issue is data quality control. The two most common data challenges an organization faces when implementing a new ERP system are replacing legacy data and consolidating separate solutions. First, the company must determine what kind of data are required for operations and business processes. The second step is the organization must clear any inaccurate or duplicate data sets from the previous system. Make sure to have someone, whether it be a vendor or IT expert, guide through this process and map the migration of newly refined data to the new file format of the ERP system. Prior to going live, it's critical to balance all data because the data integrity of the new system can be a make it or break it for an ERP implementation. The fourth issue is business transformation challenges. Business transformation is a big issue for firms that have the same business model and day-to-day activities for years. However, this is an important stage to provide the new users with a visual representation of the implementing steps and the proposed final outcome of the new system. By doing so, leaders can get a view of the business as a whole so that decision makers can determine the work levels in financial terms as well as key performance indicator KPIs of people, business strategy and activities. Dedicate a team to ensure that every user understands exactly how their job will be affected, how they will benefit from the change, and how they will educated and trained so as to be more comfortable with the transition to the new ERP system. Lastly, ERP training to the users. A successful ERP implementation depends on the users and their willingness to adapt to the new system and processes. Sometimes it can be difficult to change company culture, so it's critical that the new ERP is handled from the top down. Managers and executives must be fully integrated into the system in order for their subordinates to follow in their footsteps. To address this last issue, additional ERP training should be included in the implementation plan to enable new users to fully utilize the new software's capability and functionality. Next will be implementation of Enterprise Resource Planning, ERP. Okay, what is ERP implementation? ERP implementation is the process of examining current business practices, strategic planning, streamlining operating procedures, installing and testing software, cleansing and migrating the data, managing change, training users, going live and maintaining support. It's not a one-time event, but rather a continuous process or life cycle. I will proceed with 7 phases of successful ERP implementation. First, discovery and planning. A cross-functional team gathers information input about different business groups' requirements and the issues that the ERP system needs to solve. The project team will be in charge of a wide range of tasks linked to the implementation, including laying out the project plan and deadlines, ensuring enough resources are assigned, making product and design decisions, and day-to-day project management. The ERP project team typically includes an executive sponsor, a project manager, and representatives from the department that will use the system. The involvement of senior management is crucial in order to ensure the project receives the resources it requires. During this phase, the team may select and acquire an ERP system when the firm gets a clear understanding of what it needs. One major decision is whether to use an ERP system that runs on premises or cloud-based. The second phase is design phase. Analyze existing workflows, how to customize the software, and how to migrate data to the new system. The design phase works from detailed requirements and understanding of current workflows to develop a detailed design for the new ERP system. This includes design new, more efficient workflows and other business processes that take advantage of the system. It's important to involve users in the design phase since they have the most intimate understanding of current business processes. Involving them in the design phase also helps to ensure that they will welcome the new system and take full advantage of it. Next, development phase. Configure the software to business requirement performance, prepare training materials and documentation, and design to import data. The development phase can begin once clear design criteria have been established. This involves configuring and, when necessary, customizing the software to support the redesign processes. It may also include developing integration with any of the organization's other existing business applications that won't be replaced by the ERP system. If using an on-premises ERP system, the organization will need to install the necessary hardware and software. In parallel with software development, the team should develop training materials to help users adjust to the new system. It also needs to begin planning data migration, which involves extracting, transforming, and loading data from multiple systems, each of which may use different formats and may hold duplicate or inconsistent information. The project team should determine which data to migrate in this phase, avoiding the blanket migration of all historical data, lots of which are likely irrelevant. Next will be the testing phase. In this phase, the project team must progressively test the functions of the system and fine-tune development to address any problem that emerge. Then proceed with the training phase. Training users require time and effort. How long it takes depends on the size, complexity of ERP solution, and also the mentality of employees about changing the way they work. For the deployment phase, After completing the configuration, data migration and testing, then go live. This is the day the system goes live. Be prepared for potential issues since there may be a lot of moving parts and possibly some befuddled employees. The project team should be readily available to answer questions, help users understand the system, and attempt to fix any issues. It may take time for users to adapt to the system and achieve the anticipated productivity gains. Some data can be migrated ahead of deployment, while other information, such as current transaction, should be migrated immediately before going live. Last but not least, the support phase. The project team should ensure that users have the support they need and continues to upgrade the system and fix problems as needed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurulada binti Karim Ibrahim. I will continue the presentation with the pros and the cons of the ERP. There are several pros for the ERP within a firm. The first pro is ERP can improve and assist the organization to the efficiency of the supply management chain. An ERP can reduce the time and effort required by the company workforce to carry out their daily activities. Furthermore, with proper implemented, an ERP solution can significantly reduce or eliminate repetitive manual processes. The second one is data is easy to be accessed by different functional areas of an organization. Thus, areas as diverse as account payable, account receivable, human resource management, purchasing, inventory management, and the general ledger may be integrated within an ERP system using integrated database. The third pro is effective reporting and planning. This is due to the efficient retrieval of information for the manager's decision and increase the productivity of the employee. The fourth also will have a unified reporting system that generates accurate reports or analytics when the needs arises. Last, for the pros of ERP software system is the flexible modularity. ERP software system is modular in design and most suppliers provide a selection of programs that firms may use together based on their needs. Some programs are designed to work independently while others may be integrated into a broader suite. However, ERP system software have no exception regarding disadvantages of the system. The most significant cost of the ERP system software is the high cost of installation and maintenance. The firm not just need a fortune for a single license, but in order for the system software to functionally, they need to spend on hiring IT staff, consultant, and extra hardware to support the software. Next, the ERP system software is complex and difficult to use. Some firms will find that the system is too large and complicated for their processes. When the firm fails to plan appropriately for its implementation, it leads to a poor return on investment. With the related point that we mentioned just now, employee training is needed and takes time and detracts from everyday business operation. This is because the software is complex and not a beginner-friendly. A proper training is needed in order to teach the employees on how using it and adopt the software to their work job. This is to avoid from inefficiency system operated from happen. Last but not least, a customization may be required to meet the particular business needs. Selecting an ERP provider that serves the firm's specific industry and offers a solution developed for process manufacturing is key to reducing the need for customization. Customization can diminish the best practice built into the system and make it more difficult to upgrade in the future. Next is the example of ERP vendors. This is the top 5 of enterprise resource planning vendors in 2021. The top one is Microsoft, second is SAP, third the Oracle, fourth is Sage, and the fifth place is Epicor. Next, I will pass the presentation to the next group member.
Explain the challenge of ERP if the company implements the ERP. There are several challenges of ERP that will faced by the company if they implement the ERP. First, not enough time. The selection, implementation, and adoption and training of the ERP system might take a long time. The more you spend time in front the planning and implementation, the more you can tackle the issue before they negatively impact operation post-adoption. Second, maintenance cost. Our ERP system requires routine maintenance which is account with its sets of the cost. A successful ERP needs the routine maintenance which is including the system management, human resource, software and infrastructures. Next, resistance to change. Change is not for everyone and a few people enjoy it when it's forced upon them without their consent. Poor change management is an issue for the implementation of an ERP. The last but not least, the challenge of ERP is not properly vetting the vendors. ERP projects fail for a variety of the reasons. One of it, bad choice of the implementation partner. That's why that is important to pick the ERP partner that will collaborate with your team closely throughout the installations and evaluation process.
Last but not least is the application of ERP. There are numerous types of ERP applications can be adopted by companies in business world. Regardless of the size of the organization, operational complexities are a reality and the need for accurate record keeping, resource allocations, analysis, planning and reporting are necessary. So, ERP software helps large organizations manage their entire operation within a single system, which a good ERP software centralizes and simplifies the daily work of every employee. System analysis and program development (SAP) is one of the ERP software used by Amazon. SAP business customers can manage their finances, logistical business needs, human resources, order management, sales, and more through just one database. So here's an example of a SAP ERP with a focus on shipment. It provides shipping details where any shipments that need to be made and requires complex process which involve the third-party logistics that can be well managed. In fact, any important and relevant information and data can be tracked and traced by this software for feature analysis purposes. Plus, no matter where you are, the inventory data will always be checked, service tickets can be managed, and view real-time reports on the go. It even set up alerts and complete approvals directly from the mobile device. It is really easy to use as whether to customers' processes, use the public or private cloud. Second application is Oracle ERP. This software is used by Starbucks Corporation. It is a cloud-based software solution used to automate back-office processes and day-to-day business activities. It's a business management software suite that includes financial management, project management, accounting, and procurement. It provides users applications for customer relationship management (CRM), enterprise resource planning (ERP), and supply chain management (SCM) processes. The illustration below shows the example of Oracle ERP dashboard. The Oracle ERP shows revenue analysis and includes information you need to know at a glance, including revenue, expenses, sales data, inventory management, and operations updates. It has a built-in intelligence which will be able to access visual analytics from all of the data. Oracle could also manage big volume of data stored by the company. This is because this application provides really comprehensive business and industry solutions, enabling organizations to increase productivity, accelerate business performance, and also provide a low cost of ownership. With the multiple options among ERP, enterprise resource planning systems, it can be tough to decide which route to take. On top of that, companies and technology are always growing and expanding, and the new companies coming on board provide competition for the old. And that's all from us. Thank you for listening.